Did Jomo Kenyatta, Kenya's first president, really orchestrate the assassination of Tom Mboya? This question has echoed across the decades since Mboya's tragic demise in 1969. Many believe that Kenyatta, gripped by political rivalry, was the mastermind behind this heinous act. But is this the whole truth? Recent research and declassified information suggest otherwise. Tom Mboya, a charismatic and influential figure in Kenyan politics, had clandestine ties with the American intelligence agency, the CIA. He was a key player in the Cold War, aligning himself with the United States against China. But it wasn't just international politics that defined Mboya. Back home, he had a complex relationship with Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, another stalwart of Kenyan politics. A hidden animosity brewed between them, fueled by their shared ambition and contrasting ideologies. As we delve deeper into this narrative, we will unravel the truth behind the assassination of Tom Mboya. A chilling weekend in Nairobi marked the abrupt end of Tom Mboya. On that fateful day, Mboya, a man of charisma and political stature, was walking down the street after purchasing a bottle of oil for his wife, Pamela. As he navigated the bustling city, an assassin's bullet found him, swiftly cutting short his promising future. Despite the frantic efforts to save him, Mboya succumbed to his injuries, leaving behind a nation in turmoil and a wife in mourning. In the wake of his murder, chaos ensued. Accusations were thrown, fingers were pointed, and at the center of it all was President Jomo Kenyatta. The shock that registered on Kenyatta's face upon hearing the news of Mboya's death was profound. It was a reaction that left many questioning its authenticity. But was Kenyatta's shock genuine, or was it a well-played act? Tom Mboya, a beacon of brilliance in the dark times of the Cold War. His intellect was renowned, his charisma undeniable, and his political acumen was second to none. Mboya was not just a Kenyan leader, he was an African luminary, a beacon of hope during the tumultuous 1960s. His intelligence and leadership emerged at a time when Kenya was a chess piece in the global Cold War, a battleground for ideological supremacy between the capitalist West and the communist East. Mboya, with his Western education and pro-American stance, was a crucial player in this geopolitical game. His political maneuvering, however, brought him into conflict with Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, a staunch advocate of socialism. Their ideological differences, coupled with their personal ambitions, created a rift that would shape the political landscape of Kenya. But did this rivalry with Odinga seal Mboya's fate? The Cold War, a global game of chess that found its way to Kenyan soil. The Cold War was not just a battle between superpowers. It was a tussle for economic and ideological dominance that stretched its tentacles into the heart of Kenya's political landscape. The leaked CIA records from 2012 paint an intriguing picture, revealing the extent of foreign influence on Kenyan politics. Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, a prominent Kenyan figure, found himself under the sway of the communist superpowers, while Tom Mboya was seen as the darling of white Americans. Mboya's relationship with the US went beyond politics. It was instrumental in providing educational opportunities for Kenyans in the United States. This global rivalry, however, fueled a local power struggle between Mboya and Odinga, each vying for the top seat. But how did this global rivalry influence the local power dynamics? Two men, one seat, the stage was set for a fierce rivalry. Tom Mboya and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, two political titans, each had their eyes set on succeeding Jomo Kenyatta as president. But their ambitions were not just a local affair. The Cold War, a global power play between capitalist and communist superpowers, had seeped into Kenya's political landscape, further fueling the rivalry. Mboya, with his outgoing personality and intellectual prowess, had won the hearts of the American government. His staunch anti-communist stance was a perfect fit for the US, who were keen on influencing African politics in their favor. Odinga, on the other hand, had significant influence, but found himself on the opposing side of the Cold War divide. As the rivalry intensified, the question became not only who would take the seat, but also who was pulling the strings behind the scenes. But who was the true puppet master behind the scenes? Tensions rose, alliances shifted, and the stage was set for a political showdown. As the global political landscape heated up in 1965, the United States, in its bid to quell the communist threat, eliminated prominent Kenyan communists. This included the likes of Pinto and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. This move sparked resentment within Odinga's camp, fueling a power struggle between him and Tom Mboya. The rift widened when Kenyatta, with Mboya's backing, banned Odinga's party and stripped him of his deputy president title. In the midst of this political turmoil, a secret Kikuyu group known as the Kiambu Mafia emerged in the shadows, supporting Mboya as Kenyatta's favored successor. These tumultuous events set the stage for a deadly conspiracy, making Mboya's assassination a seemingly inevitable conclusion to a bitter rivalry. But who really pulled the trigger on that fateful day? Who was the big man behind Mboya's assassination? This question has been the subject of much speculation and countless conspiracy theories. Nahashon Njenga, the man convicted for Mboya's murder, claimed he was sent by an elusive figure known as the Big Man. However, the identity of this shadowy figure has never been conclusively disclosed. Many have pointed fingers at Jomo Kenyatta, the country's first president, believing him to be the orchestrator of this gruesome act. But truth be told, the evidence does not support this theory. Kenyatta's genuine shock at Mboya's death and his subsequent actions suggest otherwise. In fact, the assassination of Mboya was a complex web of local and global politics. His death was not a mere product of domestic power struggles, but a culmination of Cold War rivalries and secret alliances that reached far beyond Kenya's borders. This tragic event forever changed the course of Kenyan history and left a mark that continues to be felt today.